In a victory for the Biden administration, the Supreme Court ruled that Border Patrol agents can remove razor wire put in place along a stretch of the southern border in Texas.
Yeah, the wire installed near the Rio Grande River is the latest effort from Texas Governor Greg Abbott to prevent migrants from entering the country illegally. The Supreme Court's narrowly divided ruling came after an emergency request from the Biden administration that argued the wire was endangering migrants while preventing law enforcement from patrolling the area.
NBC News Supreme Court reporter Lawrence Hurley joins us now with more on this. Lawrence, good morning. So first, tell us how the Supreme Court ruled, and it's a short order, but what do you believe went into their decision?
Sure. So good morning to everyone. This is an interesting case because we don't really know, the reasoning behind what the court did. There's no description of the grounds on which they ruled. There's no description on why the four justices who dissented disagreed with the ruling. What we know is the arguments that were made, which is the Biden administration saying immigration is a basic federal function. The state doesn't have a role in this. The state can't stop Border Patrol agents from carrying out their duties. Whereas the state was saying this was basically trespass. The Border Patrol was going on private land, cutting through property that wasn't theirs. And that under Texas law, that's trespass. And they wanted to stop them from doing that.
Following the ruling, what were the reactions from both the state and the Biden administration?
Well, as you can imagine, it's hard to separate the politics from the law. And, kind of predictably, the Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton was saying, this is just another example of the Biden administration's policy of open borders and encouraging illegal immigration, whereas the Biden administration is saying, this is just a basic attempt to allow the Border Patrol to do their jobs, and the state doesn't have any role in that. And of course, Republicans more broadly are supporting Texas because they see this as a sort of wedge issue heading into the election this year.
So let's talk about the impact of this. We know there are a lot of battles right now between the White House and Texas. This ruling, could it have an impact on future legal battles along the border, or is it very specific to this one issue they addressed here?
Well, there may be a little bit of overlap here, just because what you do have is a Supreme Court decision now on a 5-4 vote saying that the court is recognizing the federal government's, supremacy, as it were, over immigration issues, which is a long-standing tradition. And so, that might mean Texas has struggles with some other cases like this that come up if the court's going to kind of endorse that broader theory, even though if in specific cases, that might not hold true. But I think we'll wait to see on that one.
Yeah, for example, there was also this case going on, the buoys that were placed in the Rio Grande to also prevent those crossings, part of this immigration enforcement plan that's called Operation Lone Star. The Biden administration had sued the state for that as well. Where do things stand with that case?
Again, that's another one where there's a lot of litigation going on, and it's kind of gone back and forth, where initially courts said that the buoys had to be removed, but just last week an appeals court, federal appeals court, said it was going to rehear that case, and so in the meantime the buoys can remain. So that's another battle which quite clearly could end up at the Supreme Court as well at some point.
All right, Lawrence Hurley, good to have you with us this morning. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.